Games are not as fun as they used to be, is a sentiment that I've seen thrown around the community lately. While that statement is not entirely untrue, I believe that the problem might stem from us, to some extent. Some game studios make it impossible to enjoy their product, whether that be through the awful performance, companies being greedy, among many other factors. While game studios have never been scummier in their practices, the games have never been better. Technological advancements that allowed for games like Elden Ring and Tears of the Kingdom were not available during our initial exposure to video games. These massive and sprawling worlds that feel never-ending and infinitely replayable would have never been a thing. Unique video game experiences like Nier Replicant and Catherine are ones that are entirely unique to video games as a medium and would not work as well, if at all, if experienced through a different medium. If you are a graphics nut, or the average gamer, there is plenty of Sony slop running all year. There has never been a better time to be an indie game fan, and I mean, just look at our Game of the Year lineup. It's all indies duking it out for the title. Silksong's probably gonna win though. For now, I'd like you to take notice of what the community's reaction is towards these companies and their shitty behavior. It is almost always negative, and rightfully so. Calling out these mega corporations on their shitty practices shows that we care. That we are not willing to settle for mediocrity when games have no excuse to suck, given all the recent advancements in technology and how more accessible it all is. When indie studios and solo dev passion projects are some of the best games we have played in recent times, then we have all the right in the world to be outraged. Yet, that is not our answer. That is not the reason some feel that games are not as fun as they used to be. Ultimately, it's us. We dictate how we feel about not just video games, but most aspects in our lives. And I mean, just think about it. Why were games more fun when we were kids? We were enamored by these games. They had our attention, and every experience felt truly unique. Despite technology back then not even holding a candle to what it has evolved to now, almost everyone has a childhood game, a game that you especially resonate with for no particular reason. The game doesn't do anything special. It could be your box standard PS2 hero slop game, yet it holds its own value that is only unique to you. You see something in a game that no critic or journalist ever would. It's your own world that only you understand in your own way, likely not intended by the creators. You took your time to make the game truly your own. If a mission sucked ass, then you simply didn't play it. If you didn't get down with a certain mechanic, you didn't interact with it. If a game was no longer fun, you put it down, not forcing a completion. You enjoyed your game on your own terms, played how you wanted. That is a habit that most of us have let decay from our lives. Our never-ending pursuit of efficiency has left us in ruin. We cannot seem to be able to give our undivided attention to things we were once obsessed with, and have instead optimized the fun out of our very lives. And I can personally attest to that statement, as I am quite guilty of this. We are the new adults. We have responsibilities at work, school, towards other people, but end up neglecting our most important role: our responsibility towards ourselves. I, for one, am currently writing this very script at work during whatever downtime comes my way. At the barbershop while waiting on a haircut, on the toilet, at bedtime till my eyes finally give out. I almost never drive anywhere for only one destination. It's always for multiple stops. This clip you are watching is me running late to work, doing, let's just say, not so legal speed limits on the highway. We as a collective are doing too much. I, for one, am at a turning point in my life, so I do not have much time for anything really. Spreading myself way too thin like a multitasking machine, doing what I can when I can and not when I want to do it. This is an experience most my age could more than relate to, so we develop these horrible habits that help us combat the severe lack of time, exchanging leisure for efficiency. Problem is that optimizing my life works too well, at least on the surface level. It allows me to get a lot done, getting the stuff I don't want to do out of the way quickly. Brain dead tasks like making coffee in the morning, I get the water boiling before I take my morning shit, never the other way around. And if I could take that shit at work, even better. I try to find optimizations in the pettiest, most menial tasks that don't even require attention, just to get them done that little bit faster, netting me the tiniest bit more time each day in order to do the things I actually want to do. My time management skills might be a little more extreme than most, but we all do this to some extent. We don't have a choice. While I derive most of my satisfaction from optimizing a task rather than getting the actual task done, which probably wasn't much in the first place, I always make sure to never let that mindset intrude on my leisure time, the time I worked so hard to secure. My time. What about you? Do you remember how to enjoy yourself? I probably could have worded that better. We are almost never doing one thing at once. Ask yourself, when was the last time you listened to music and you actually listened? Many people resonate with the statement at the start of the video. I believe the very reason they feel that way is that most have unfortunately optimized the joy they once felt out of video games due to how deep-rooted optimization is in all we do. And Uncle Houthis Abouthis happens to be autistically knowledgeable on anything video games related. So let me put you on. The name of the game here is making sure that the time you spend on games is enjoyable, whether you have a lot of time to spare or otherwise. Some sessions might not be as enjoyable as others, which is a fact you will have to come to terms with. You'll have to focus on the whole picture, and most importantly, be patient. My method is simply a bunch of rules that mimic the environment I played games in as a kid into my current one, at a simpler time. Rule number 1. Never force yourself to play a game. This one's quite common. Many people feel a certain responsibility towards finishing games, whether that be financial or otherwise. If a game at any point is becoming more of a chore to play, then it has gone too far. Whether it started off well and gradually tapered off later, or it was never enjoyable in the first place, or if a live service game or game franchise is starting to get repetitive, then you are under no obligation to play it. It doesn't matter how much time you already committed to it, or how much money you even spent on it. But some games do gradually get better the more you play. Keeping that in mind and understanding what genres appeal to you is a learning process that is always evolving. So letting go of a game you are not currently enjoying doesn't have to mean that you are never touching it ever again. And you never know, one day it could become your favorite, which is exactly what happened to me when I played Dragon's Dogma. Many of the game's systems made absolutely no sense to me. The game explains very little to you and expects you to apply knowledge you simply don't have. Getting stronger seemed impossible as I had no idea where to start. What weapons do I go for? Where would I even find them? Weapon upgrades, enemy weaknesses, convoluted ass-backwards questlines, and the list goes on. Dragon's Dogma is very much a knowledge-based game, where the more you know about it, the easier it gets. I love it when a game explains absolutely nothing, and I mean zero, but at the same time, I was not ready for it, so I had decided to put it down. Only to pick it up a few months later and have an absolute blast of a time playing one of the best, most flawed action-adventure games out there. Which leads me to my next method. Always keep an open mind. Experiment, find out more about what you like and what you do, what you don't like and what you could do about that. To me, a good starting point with any game is around an hour or two. If I do not find myself getting hooked by then, it is probably not for me. Despite that, I try not to write off games right away, though I can't always stick to that. I have a limited amount of time, and as much as I would like to sample a bit of everything, that simply isn't possible for most of us. If anything looks even remotely interesting, set aside some time and play it. By law 3 of the catalog. Try not to be efficient. If you are using fast travel in Spider-Man, then what are we doing? Brother, you have completely missed the mark. The whole point of playing Spider-Man is experiencing the breakneck speeds at which you could get around one of the busiest and least drivable cities in the world. Getting better at the swinging mechanics to a point where you would feel reluctant about using the fast travel system, which is a whole topic on its own. Try to focus on finding the most fun way of doing things in the game rather than the quickest. There are also games out there where efficiency is the whole point. Games like Palworld and Satisfactory tickle all the right spots in my brain, turning it into that of a crack addict. If you have any form of responsibilities, then you should probably stay away. Get ready to neglect your work, your family, kids if you have them. Also, you could get 3 more supercomputers out of your factory. Palworld will have you enslaving these poor creatures in the desert heat, encased in a scorching glass cube for 14 more pieces of copper. I mean, 14 is a lot. Modifying these animals on a genetic level, rendering them unable to sleep, doubling their output. Getting them high on drugs so they can never get sick and slack off, all in the name of efficiency. These games allow me a nice change of pace, since I am always focused on avoiding optimization in my playthroughs. If there is a route that is longer but is different from my usual, that is where I'm at. It being the point is nice every once in a while though. Rule number 4. Don't look shit up. This, for me at least, is the biggest one, and one I'd say I'm a bit too stubborn at upholding. Here is me running around the server room in Stellar Blade, thinking that there must be a secret hidden in this big ass empty room. There wasn't, and it took me 10 minutes to figure that out when it would have taken me mere seconds to look it up on my phone. I could be stuck at a puzzle or a boss fight for hours or days even. I'd still not look anything up. I feel a great reward from overcoming a challenge all on my lonesome. I like to treat these games like I'm the only one playing them, like there is no outside help. It's all a self-contained world for me to explore. The moment I acquire information outside the game itself, the illusion starts to come undone, and overall makes the experience that much less enjoyable, especially when most games do a lot in the way of giving you hints. Some are right in your face obvious, think waypoints, compass markers, in-game manuals, codexes. Some try to communicate with your subconscious mind by pointing you in the right direction without explicitly telling you so, by way of using direction markers or out-of-place colors or objects, more subtle hints in the form of NPC dialogue, achievements, item descriptions. But despite all developer efforts, we still wind up stuck at some points. What I usually do in these situations is gauge how stuck I am. If it's on the level of solving a COD Zombies Easter egg with no guide, then I'm definitely looking shit up. But if it feels as if I have no lead on how to even start, I'll only look up the bare minimum information needed to progress and try to figure out the rest on my own. To put it bluntly, it's like playing an adventure game and constantly knowing what's around the corner. It's no longer an adventure at that point, it is simply a chore. Use your external tools wisely. Rule number 5. Don't compare yourself to others. In this new age of YouTube and streaming, and this also goes hand in hand with not looking shit up, there's always someone out there who's uncovered the game's secret. There's almost no way to completely hide an Easter egg or some piece of information from the player in the age of the internet. Communities are bound to form around the game. It is simply a part of its lifespan, where members share and exchange information. Information like what are the most viable weapons and builds you could go for, the best armor, the best pathing, the best NPC quests, the best everything. Which leads us all the way back to optimization, and how it always sucks the fun out of not only video games but your own personal life as well. We as players have all gotten better. The average gamer nowadays is much more skilled than that of the past. Our skills in general, game knowledge, mechanics, reaction time and awareness. Yet, there is always someone better, someone more cracked at the game, someone who could no-hit the entire Dark Souls trilogy with a cactus up their ass, someone who is impossible to out-aim, someone who always seems to know where you are at all times, someone who is simply more than you are. Many unfortunately feel pressured into becoming that guy, when you absolutely do not need to be, and even if you did, you probably can't. Streamers and YouTubers have unfortunately created a false reality for some people where if you are not in a constant state of domination and you are not among the top 1% of players, then you are not having fun, which could not be further from the truth. To be the best at anything, and that does not only apply to video games, and arguably what's even more important is time. These freaks simply have more time than the average person. You are not one-upping 16 daily hours of playtime with your measly 2. It is simply not happening. You don't have to be the best, hell, you don't even need to be good. As long as you're having fun, or experiencing a game for the very first time, then it doesn't matter. And this is coming from someone who is that guy. It does not matter what game I pick up, I'll almost be immediately good at it. This might sound corny as fuck, but it's lonely here at the top. And after the initial high word off, I low-key wished I was ass so I could play with my lower ranked friends without needing to smurf. If it's anything you could take away from this video, just have fun. Play on your own terms and never on those of others. But ultimately, rule number 6, only you could dictate how your experience would go. Expecting the game to make itself fun for you is a horrible way to go about it. Minecraft, we've all played it, and how does a Minecraft 3-week phase always start? It starts with chopping down some trees, getting some food, jumping into a cave, getting a full set of iron armor, as much coal as you could carry, precisely 5 pieces of diamonds for a pickaxe and an enchanting table, and 10 pieces of obsidian for another portal, without fail. It's this routine, time and time again. No wonder games don't hit the same no more. This self-destructive behavior carries over into other games. Meta this, meta that. Have you ever met a woman? Constantly using the best tools rather than the most fun lies 100% on us, since game developers could only do so much in the way of including various playstyles. The idea of a meta that a gameplay loop could be optimized within a few weeks of a game coming out needs to be tuned out. There will always be a best, most optimal approach, strategy, equipment. Fuck a meta. Constantly chasing the optimal method is basically playing the game in a way someone else is instructing. Change would need to take place at the root. You need to take charge and change up your approach. Make the game truly yours as it once was. Next time you load up a world, you could play the second half of the game. The crafting. Build whatever abomination you call a house, expand your non-existent farmland, and for the love of God, could your first instinct when you spot a village now be to murder, pillage, and rape all the villagers? Change it up. Do it in reverse instead. Video games have always been and always will be an art form. Remove yourself from the equation and a painting is watered down to a colored board. Do not neglect your influence over a game, enforce it over your world. Live it, mold it, experience it, and most importantly, have your damn fun.